It's Saturday the 31st of December 2016 and I'm at Cockfosters Underground Station to do a walk on the London Loop long distance footpath. I've now joined the London Loop. It's right up Cockfosters Station. Unfortunately the weather's not very good, very overcast and misty. There's a London Loop way marker and we now turn left up there. I've not picked the greatest day for this weather-wise. A London Loop now enters this wood and the path bears to the right. A few yards on we come to this crossing point and turn left along this path, still in the wood. Now following the right hand edge of this field, as you can see, very misty. Now on the main drive of Trent Park and we take the left fork here. You can see an obelisk there. Now passing this Trent Park information board and London Loop heads along there through this woodland. London Loop heading through the beautiful woodland of Trent Park. Now walking with a misty meadow on the left, and there's the path of London Loop. The path emerges from the woodland and now runs along the edge of this field with a hedge on the left, and as you can see, very misty. The route comes to a T-junction and turns left along here. Confirmation we're on London Loop, and that's the way forward. There's a lake over to the right of the path. We pass this signboard and continue up the track. London Loop continues up this more wooded section. The path enters woodland. We come to this fork and take the left hand path down there. Now heading through this beautiful woodland along London Loop. At this point London Loop turns right to head to a road. We've come to Hadley Road. We turn left for about 120 yards. Over to the left there's a view of a large obelisk in Trent Park, erected in 1702. Mercifully, the road walk is short and we now turn right through this kissing gate along this path, which heads into the valley of Salmons Brook. Heading downhill on this clear, beautiful path. Some misty views ahead from the path. At the bottom, the route turns right along there, following the Salmons Brook. Nice straight path along the valley floor. There's a view of the Salmon Brook, and at this point the path does a right and then left dogleg. Beautiful straight, clear, grassy path following Salmons Brook. There's a clear view down to the brook on the left. And there's the continuing path of London Loop. We now cross Salmons Brook on this footbridge and take the path that turns right. There's another path that goes uphill to the left. We ignore that. Now continuing beside the brook along the edge of this huge field. Quite a picturesque spot on the path with that gate, beautiful trees. Through the gate in the last clip we cross another plank bridge to continue. Still continuing beside the brook, looks like there's been farm machinery along this part of the path. Into the next field and there's a small fence on the left. Could only be a temporary fence, but it's a bit less muddy here. Now turning uphill towards the road known as the Ridgeway. Just before the road, London Loop turns right through this kissing gate into this plantation. Obviously volunteers have made these kissing gates and stiles in the area. There have been several of those signs. We're now right beside the road and we're now going to go along the edge of that field. We now join the road and turn right along it. Here comes a 313 bus on its way to Potter's Bar. After a couple of hundred yards along the road, London Loop turns left down here. Now heading away from the main road, the Ridgeway, along this lane. Interesting place for a seat. Still heading along the lane, along London Loop. Now crossing the Turkey Brook, which the walk follows for several miles. And that's the way forward. Now heading under the Hertford North Loop railway line. London Loop now turns right along here. Further on we turn right into Hillyfields Park along this track. Still in this beautifully wooded part of Hillyfields Park. At this point London Loop turns left along this path. We now cross this small field to a metalled path on the far side. Now turning right on that wide path. A good view ahead, albeit still misty. Now crossing this footbridge over the Turkey Brook. And there's a beautiful view along the Turkey Brook from the footbridge. Now bearing left to follow the Turkey Brook. Still following the Turkey Brook along this clear path. Beautiful view across the park. Hillyfields Park. We come to this bridge across the Turkey Brook, but we don't cross it, we bear half right uphill. The path climbs, comes to this junction, and then London Loop turns left along there. We now come to the road at the Rose and Crown pub and we take the path opposite there. At this junction we turn right and then clearly the path turns left again. As you can see, we're still following the Turkey Brook, and there's the London Loop path. Now on this very pleasant path with a field to the right, and the weather's brightened up slightly. All this parkland is part of Whitewebb's Park. We left Hillyfields Park at the Rose and Crown Pub Road a few clips back, and there's the London Loop still following the Turkey Brook. Still heading along London Loop with the Turkey Brook on the left. Another beautiful woodland view. And here's a glorious view along the Turkey Brook, pretty wide at this point. Now passing this beautiful lake. Interesting path with Turkey Brook on the left and a lake on the right. Further on there's a much more open area. There's the wide path continuing. We now come to the road 40 Hill and we continue along the path ahead. To the left along the road you can see Maiden's Bridge across the Turkey Brook, but our walk continues along here. Now joining part of the New River path. The New River is actually underground at this point. And there's the London Loop and our path ahead. A few yards on, the New River path bears off to the left, but we continue along this metal track. We're heading for the crossing of the A10 Great Cambridge Road. London Loop now crosses the A10 by this footbridge. London Loop signs at the other side of the road. We go down there. Now heading up this path away from the A10. Now heading under the Liverpool Street to Cheshunt railway line, and light rain is falling. The loop turns left into Winnington Road, and now we come to the junction with Turkey Street. And there's Turkey Street Station, but the loop turns right along Turkey Street to meet the main road in Enfield Highway and the end of the walk. Confirmation, we're in Turkey Street. And we're still following the Turkey Brook in Turkey Street. Now at the bus stop on the A1010 Hertford Road at Enfield Highway, and the end of today's walk along London Loop.